Welcome back to 6-Minute Math, where we turn confusion into clarity 6 minutes at a time. Thank you for joining us today for our video on multiplying polynomials using the box method, the extended version. We will not be having a time limit today, as with our extended versions, we want to give ample time to understand the process so that you all can become fluent with using our box method. Our key points is that we are going to set our polynomials on each side of a rectangle separated by the term. If I look at our example here, we can put our x plus 3 separated by the term on top and x plus 2 separated by the terms on the right. At this point, we are going to multiply each of the terms into the corresponding box. That means I'm going to multiply x times x for x squared. 3 times x for 3x. X times 2 for 2x. And lastly, 3 times 2 for 6. My last step is going to be to collect any like terms to create my answer. In this example, I only have 2 sets of like terms, my x values, giving me a final answer of x squared plus 5x plus 6. So let's see some examples. We're going to expand negative x plus 2 multiplied by x minus 6. I have my rectangle here, and I'm going to separate my terms for the first polynomial on top, negative x plus 2, and on the right, x minus 6. I am then going to multiply each of the terms by one another into the corresponding boxes. X times negative x is negative x squared. X times positive 2 is 2x. Negative 6 times negative x is positive 6x. And negative 6 times positive 2 is negative 12. At this point, I'm going to collect my like terms, which will give me a final answer of negative x squared plus 8x minus 12. Let's check out another example here. We have y minus 4 times y minus 7. I have my rectangle, and I'm going to write my terms into each of the corresponding boxes. Y minus 4 and y minus 7. Y times y is y squared. Y times negative 4 is negative 4y. Negative 7 times y is negative 7y. And lastly, negative 7 times negative 4 is positive 28. I collect my like terms here, and I have a final answer of y squared minus 11y plus 28. How about if I expand x squared plus 2 times x minus 9? I have my rectangle, and I write my separate terms. We're going to go x squared plus 2 on top and x minus 9 on the left. X times x squared is x cubed, and x times 2 is 2x. Negative 9 times x squared is negative 9x squared. And negative 9 times positive 2 is negative 18. In this situation, I do not have any like terms, which would give me a final answer of x cubed minus 9x squared plus 2x minus 18. On to another example here. In this case, I have a binomial times a trinomial. Nothing changes in my process. I just have an extra term to multiply by. We're going to put x minus 4 on the left and x squared plus 2x minus 4 on the top. X times x squared is x cubed. X times 2x is positive 2x squared. And x times negative 4 is negative 4x. Negative 4 times x squared is negative 4x squared. Negative 4 times 2x is negative 8x. And negative 4 times negative 4 is positive 16. I am now going to collect my like terms. I have some x squareds, and in this situation, I also have some x values, giving me a final answer of x cubed minus 2x squared minus 12x plus 16. Let's multiply another binomial times a trinomial. So I have my rectangle here, and we have y plus 3 and y squared minus 7y minus 8. Y times y squared is y cubed. Y times negative 7y is negative 7y squared. And y times negative 8 is negative 8y. 3 times y squared is positive 3y squared. 3 times negative 7y is negative 21y. And lastly, 3 times negative 8 is negative 24. I have some like terms I need to combine. So I have a final simplification of y cubed minus 4y squared minus 29y minus 24. Let's check out this example. I have a binomial times a trinomial, but I've thrown a wrinkle into this one. We have x minus 7 and x plus 3y minus 11. X times x is x squared. X times 3y is 3xy. And x times negative 11 is negative 11x. Negative 7 times x is negative 7x. Negative 7 times positive 3y is negative 21y. And negative 7 minus 11 is positive 77. And for this example, I only have one set of like terms, making me have a final answer of x squared plus 3xy minus 18x minus 21y plus 77. On to our last example here, where I'm actually going to have a trinomial times a trinomial. I have my boxes set up here, and I'm going to put that first trinomial on the left. X squared minus 2x plus 2. And that second trinomial on top. X squared plus 3x minus 6. X squared times x squared is x to the fourth. X squared times 3x is positive 3x cubed. And x squared times negative 6 is negative 6x squared. Negative 2x times x squared is negative 2x cubed. Negative 2x times positive 3x is negative 6x squared. And negative 2x times negative 6 is positive 12x. Our last row here, positive 2 times x squared is positive 2x squared. Positive 2 times positive 3x is positive 6x. And positive 2 times negative 6 is negative 12. I collect my like terms. In this case, I have an x cubed. I have 3x squareds. And I have 2 x's, which gives me a final answer of x to the fourth plus x cubed minus 10x squared plus 18x minus 12. Those are all our examples that we will show for multiplying polynomials using the box method. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at 6Minute Math, and be sure to like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment below for any topic you want to see me tackle in a future 6-minute episode. Always remember that the best way to get math is to practice math, so keep on practicing. And until next time, keep solving and evolving.